So I suppose we shouldn't say anything like shit, right? Now they're not gonna be able to see. Now turn on the back ones and turn off the front. There you go.
There we go.
Now don't be nervous. There's a video camera.
I know.
You can edit all this out.
Hello, class. My presentation is called Bronies versus Hasbro, the Derpy debate, by Victor Clark. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about the manliest show ever put on television. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Now, I know what most of you are probably thinking right now, oh god, more of this? Seriously? What? Well, to everyone who's thinking I'm a weirdo for doing this, all I have to say is, shut up. I really don't care. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I'm not going to skip this opportunity. Moving forward. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is a 4th generation series based on My Little Pony. It's hosted on the Hub Network, hosted by Hasbro and Studio B, and was written, produced, and directed by Lauren Faust. Now, if you don't know who Lauren Faust is, you probably know the work she's been in. She's a big name in animation, being a writer, producer on many big series like the Powerpuff Girls, Fox was Home for Imaginary Friends, Conan Kids Next Door, and also worked in several big movies like The Iron Giant and the animation for Sawyer and Cats Don't Dance, which is a supremely underrated movie in my opinion. Now, Lauren Faust's experience in writing, animating, and producing, she managed to really understand what it takes to make a really good TV show. And because of that, she managed to turn a formerly mindless piece of crap show, which was mainly just to sell girls' toys, into a really well-written, well-executed, generally great animated series, featuring the main cast of characters who are both relatable and really complex, with all of their own flaws and emotions, and really believable characters. It also has an outstanding flash animation, which is why it got popular around a lot of older people. Because, you know, it was really well animated, and a lot of people appreciated it for how diverse all the dynamics of the show were. It also features a lot of really well-animated, complex, and legitimately threatening villains like Discord, Luna, and Queen Chrysalis, who was just featured in the Season 2 finale. It also features a lot of great action scenes, and it is not like you'd see from most other girl shows. And yes, Fluttershy is breaking the neck of a bear. Don't worry, the bear will. And because of this managed to make a whole new fandom called Bronies. Basically men aged 15 to 35 who really appreciated the show for what it was. And because of this, it created a whole new fandom, much like Trekkies of the Star Trek or Hoovians of Doctor Who. That's actually a pretty accurate portrayal of us. But the fandom managed to make a whole big line of different ideas and fandoms and going to different type of mediums. Independent musicians on YouTube, like The Living Tombstone, Jack Lab, and Mike the Microphone, started making songs and whole albums dedicated to the show and its characters, getting millions of hits on YouTube and really making legitimately great music. There were fan animations made, like the Mob series on YouTube, which is really popular, and a lot of parodies on stuff like CollegeInverts.com's My Little Brony, and Mad on Cartoon Network had a skit called My Little Warhorse, which featured one of the voice actresses. Fanfics started becoming really well-known and well-regarded in the fandom, like My Little Dashie, On Cross and Arrow, and the highly gory Cupcakes. I would not recommend that. Some fan writers are messed up. Also, websites like DeviantArt and Imgur were starting to get full of unique and really well-made fan art from artists. Because of the animation, the way the show was presented, it really showed the artistic creativity of the fans as they made such really good fan art like this. And in less than 2 years, the show only came out in 2010. In in less than 2 years, it managed to go into so many different fandoms and different areas of pop culture. I mean, it's hard to find anything on the internet that doesn't have a pony-related subtext with it. I mean, you find anything on the internet, there's bound to be with it, related with it. And I mean anything. Multipass? Of course, the biggest thing that the fandom has done in relation to the show's creation is with how it incorporated background characters. I mean, Studio B made a lot of background characters just to fill up space. However, the Bronies managed to find certain characters and really develop them more than the show did, giving them backstory, giving them personalities, fan animations, fan art, all kinds of different things, and even naming them, which the show has actually used and incorporated, like Bon Bon, Vinyl Scratch, aka BJ Pumphrey, Octavia, Barry Punch, and probably one of my personal favorites, Dr. Hooves. Seriously, I'm not even a big Doctor Who fan. I find this really a cool thing to see. Never mind. However, the one character that's gotten the most popular in both the fandom and in the show itself is Derpy Hooves, aka Ditsy Doo. Now, Derpy can first be seen in the very first episode until someone on 4chan pointed out that her eyes were going in different directions, which is sometimes known on the internet as derping. I never thought I'd use that in a college presentation. Anyway, because of the attention that the character received so early, she became one of the most popular characters in the fandom, actually becoming almost as popular as the main six. Tons of fan art, tons of songs, tons of fan animations were made about her, and her character was developed really. She had a lot of development with her character. So what started off as a light animation error turned into a fully developed character, a Pegasus, who is identified as being the mail delivery pony of Ponyville, having a daughter named Dinky, and having a love for muffins. She's also known in a lot of fans of being the assistant for Dr. Hooves. And yeah, it really is unique how much attention was given to this one character who was originally just an accident. And she sort of became a mascot for the Brony community. And Studio B and Hasbro knows this, and they incorporated it into the show more. These are all screenshots from the show. And what you can see that she sort of became an Easter egg for the show, for the Bronies to notice in every episode, finding her in the background, with the eyes the way they originally were. Of course, the biggest nod to the fandom was in Season 2, Episode 14, The Last Roundup, where she was not only given lines to speak, but was named by her fan-given name.
Done. I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah, it's a mystery. Nice work, Legal Dad.
So yeah, how did the Bronies react when seeing that their fan-made character was actually being used in the show? Kind of like that. They went nuts. It was by far the biggest achievement that the fandom achieved because of this. I mean, they loved the fact that a character, which was originally an accident that they actually cared for, was actually being noticed and used by the writers of the show. However, this didn't last long. Soon after the episode's premiere, certain fans and concerned parents were wondering whether or not Derpy was considered an ableist character. Seeing that her eyes went in different directions, the tone of her voice, and her clumsy nature, made some people think that she was being offensive to those with mental disabilities. Because, yeah, cartoons never had a character like that in animation. No, not at all. And yeah, that's probably the most offensive thing towards the mentally handicapped, isn't it? I am so sorry for using that. I'm just trying to prove a point.
Where does that come from?
I think it was 4chan as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 4chan.
That makes it easier.
However, about a month after the episode's premiere, when it was finally released on iTunes for sale, people realized why it was released so late. Hasbro took the complaint seriously, and the episode was edited.
Now careful. You don't want to do any more damage than you've already done. I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah, it's a mystery. Nice work, Rainbow Dash! You okay, Rainbow Dash? Anything I can do to help? No, nothing. In the name of Celestia, just sit there and do nothing. My bad.
So the voice was changed?
Yes, the voice was changed. Most of the fans were pissed.
And what anything else?
Actually, there's a list right here.
Okay,
In
voice
the iTunes alteration, the voice of Derpy was changed to sound more feminine.
yeah.
And also the tone of Rainbow Dash was changed to sound less angry. The animation was also changed so her eyes were less dirt, and make her change with Rainbow Dash to make her face seem less angry when confronting her. And also Rainbow Dash no longer calls her by the fan-given name of Derpy. And the only people who didn't notice this were those who watched it with closed captioning. However, all the other bronies were pissed. Oh.
What's a brony on that?
Yeah, it was like Jar Jar Binks level of nerd rage resulted from this alteration.
That's big.
So what was the dilemma here? Well, on one hand, a character in a popular children's television show was being seen as offensive to some viewers, and they didn't want to lose any respect that they get as a television show. However, the character also represented a large portion of a new fan base, which really had just as much attention and revenue from the show as the kids. So either way, whatever thing Hasbro was going to do was bound to upset some people. And Bronies took a lot of action with this. A petition called Save Derpy was put online on websites like Change.org, which gained tens of thousands of signatures in a matter of days. I think getting up to 50,000 signatures. Letters and emails were sent to both Hasbro and Studio B, as well as several other people within the production of the company, urging them to ask why this happened and why they can't get the original version. And some even sent death threats. Yes, death threats over a cartoon. Yeah, that's kind of sad. And also, DeviantArt was full of sad Derpy fan art. So many people were so upset about this, about the idea that their character was being taken away. And trust me, this is the light stuff. There's fan art of her killing herself, of her being beaten up, of all kinds of different things. You should be lucky I'm showing just that.
Well, the one in the upper right is actually rather fascinating. You know, the lipstick, which is icon, you know, lipstick on a pig. It's an icon for the disactualization of self in order to fit in. And I'm thinking, and in our modern American history, a really good example of that was the going back to the time of the Harlem Renaissance, the popularity of straightening of African American hair in order to look. Well, how many of you saw that Malcolm X